Okay, here's a video that no one ever asked me to make, and I don't think I'll share it with anybody, but I have been perfecting and adjusting my grandmother's chili recipe since, I don't know, since we got married, and I think I've got it pretty dialed in. So I'm just gonna walk through it mainly for myself so I can remember it later and I don't have to write it down. So grandma's recipe called for 1.5 pounds of ground beef, but what I have found that works better is to go heavy on the beef or the meat and do 1 pound of chorizo and 1 pound of 80% lean ground beef. And we're gonna put that in this cast iron skillet. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, black pepper, and a 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And then I also, the recipe calls for chopped onion, but I don't have chopped onion, so it's just easier to keep the minced onions on hand. And just take those and dump those in here as well. Boom. Boom. Okay, brown that up. Okay, so I got this getting browned up, you know, the chorizo and the beef all mixed together. And while that's going, this is somewhat controversial when it comes to chili, but when I was growing up, we always had some noodles. It was fine noodles, egg noodle. And what I found that is less controversial is mac. So elbow macaroni noodles, I want to put those in a pot of boiling water. I just do like a little less than a cup of these little bitty noodles. And then we mix that into the big pot when all of this gets mixed down. So I'll wait for that to boil, cook the noodles, drain them off, and hold. All right, so the chorizo and the ground beef are browned and the grease has been drained off, and still waiting for the pot to boil. It's starting to. So while I'm waiting on that, in this big pot, I am going to combine my beans and my sauce and the water and the other ingredients while I'm waiting for the noodles to cook. So this is our standard Brooks chili hot beans. And the original recipe was just 3 of these 15.5, 16-ounce cans in the pot, 4 if you really liked beans. What I've been doing lately is I've been adding in some white chili beans as well as some black chili beans. It just, I don't know if it really gives it a little bit different flavor, but mostly it just makes it look better, more color. So we're gonna combine that, 2 cans of tomato sauce, which are 8-ounce cans. And then you rinse these cans out with water and you put 16 ounces of water in the pot as well. So I'll start prepping that and we'll start cooking these noodles. Be right back. All right, so I have combined the meat, all of these things, 2 cans of water, and I've drained off the water from the elbow noodles. So we're gonna dump that in the pot as well. Get it all out of there. I'm gonna try to get it all out of there. Don't leave any noodles behind. Okay. And then I also have, because I like it a little bit spicy, this is 2 tablespoons, sorry, not tablespoons, 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper. And I believe this is a teaspoon of chili powder. Okay. And this is a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. Okay. So just mix it all together, put the lid on it and simmer and see what happens. Almost forgot. There's also a tablespoon of sugar. Ta-da. Okay, it's all mixed up. And we're just gonna set this down and we're gonna cook it real low for at least 30 minutes. But what I've found is that you really can't do too bad. If you cook it really low for an hour, if you have a crock pot, you can put it in there for a couple hours. Cover it up and let it sit when it's done cooking. All right, it simmered on low for like 30 minutes. Let's see how it turned out. Looks pretty good. I haven't tasted it yet, but you can see that you get the noodles, the red beans, the white beans, the black beans. It kind of gives it an interesting texture. If you like chunky tomatoes in your chili, I would suggest just open up a can of Rotel and dump it in there, give it a little bit more heat, but let's see how it tastes. Okay, I don't want to burn my face. It's good. It's a little spicy. I wouldn't call it like 5-alarm chili, which I know a lot of people are into, but it's 3, maybe 3.5 on the spicy side. So if you didn't want it to be as spicy, maybe cut back on the crushed red peppers. But there you go. I'll put all the ingredients in the description so everybody has it.